Good evening. The time is 6:45, and this is the instructional committee meeting. I'm sorry, the business meeting. We're at 201 Lindenwood, October 11, 2016. Item A, action. Item to review. Thank you. Now I can see. The financial review a regular board meeting on October the 18th, 2016. Recommendations are to be made by this business committee. Number one, approval of monthly disbursement.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Molina, Mr. Rodriguez. The Division of Finance is presenting the disbursement for the month of September. I don't know at this point if you have any questions.
Item number two, approval of the end of the year outstanding encumbered.
Yes, sir. These are the purchase orders that were created last fiscal year, and we're rolling them over into this fiscal year. You can see the history there. Last year, we were at $6 million. We were able to reduce it by 17% to $4,984,530. You can see the breakdown. These are some of the major projects that were going on towards the end of the year. The biggest one is at 43%. It's the Alexander High School renovations at $2,142,000. And if you see the asterisk on the far left, those are pretty much all the construction funds, and they're making up all the POs that are over 90 days. The rest are different instructional and some facility projects that are throughout the district and different campuses. And this is just nothing but the aging. You have 672,000 that are pretty much August POs, 499,000 that were issued in July, 249,000 that were issued in June, and then that 3.5, it looks like a large number, but they're all the construction projects that the district is undergoing at this point.
At this point in time.
Yes, sir. It's a total of 4.9 million. I don't know if you have any questions on any of the POs or the breakdown.
Number three, the adoption
Thank
of
you.
resolution to join coalition of Texas school districts with the petition of the Texas legislature to find the Texas Education Code provisions to allow the Texas Education Agency Commission to adjust the taxable value of properties in school districts experience a rapid decline in taxable property value.
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, members of the audience. We're bringing for the board's consideration, for the whole board's consideration, the adoption of this resolution. We're recommending that UISD approve this resolution, and what we want to do is show other districts that our board is behind this effort to take, the law already exists, and we just want to let our legislators know that we would like this law to be funded when the session starts in January. And what we want to do after, hopefully the board does approve it, we would like to share with other districts of this so-called coalition of districts who have also experienced a decline in their mineral values. And so I think by showing support, other districts can get with their board members and decide if their board members want to also pass a resolution like this. And then that way, when we go and speak or have districts go talk to their legislators, they can say our board has approved this
How many
resolution.
districts have we spoken to?
We have been sending.
What's your share, Leah, with the board, how many emails we sent out, and the meeting that we had in Houston, I think it's important for the board to.
Yes, probably for the last 4 or 5 months, just working with different district personnel, we've managed to locate or study about over 250 school districts that have lost mineral values. We did a study of about 8 Senate districts, and they kind of encompass all of South Texas, like going up towards southeast San Antonio, West Texas, going up to Midland and up to the Panhandle. And what we did was we studied these school districts. We got on the comptroller website, got the values, and sure enough, probably more than 250 school districts that we can see that were affected by minerals have lost values, and they would come under this situation like we have. What we did was we made email groups. I had my secretary call, ask for the superintendent's name, the email. And so what we did was we created email groups, and we sent out letters inviting them and telling them about this law. And then we were given the opportunity to have a session at the TASB conference in Houston on September 23rd. It was a last-minute session. We were not on the program, and yet we took advantage of it and sent out emails. Mr. Santos got with the Region 1 Executive Director, and he sent emails out all over the state asking if they would share this with their superintendents. We had 28 people RSVP, but about close to 70 people showed up to the session. And there was some interest in it. They gave us their email names. There were some board members in the session as well. And so what we've done is we've continued to send them emails. A lot of them have responded positively that they are interested in helping us in this coalition. As Mr. Santos spoke to the audience that was there, we made it clear that it was just a coalition to let our legislators know of this law and how much how much dollars we lost. We made it clear to the districts that it wasn't that we were going to ask them for dues or, create these positions for this coalition. It was that we were going to find a way to let all these coalitions know, or all these members of the coalition get emails about what we're working on, who they can contact, who their senators are, who their representatives are, so that we can get the word out about this issue. So that's where we are right now. And Juan Cruz and his staff helped us with this resolution. And we're more than willing to send it out to the to the superintendents to share with their board members if they're interested in joining officially this effort.
Yeah, one of the items I think that's important, I think as we started, I guess, in April, as we met with Representative Rich Raymond, Tracy King, Senator Stefanini, and then we met with the commissioner. Wrote a letter to the commissioner, requesting to see he would be able to fund us and also fund the law. The law is there. We don't need to create a law. We got his response back, obviously saying, yeah, the law is here. We have no funds to fund it. Senator Hinojosa from the Valley also wrote to the commissioner. Same thing, requesting those funds for us. Same response from the commissioner, no money is there. But I think as we send out all these letters to all these districts, I think we generated some interest from other districts. What happened is a majority of the districts didn't know that this law existed. Once they became aware, then I think they started to get actively involved with their community. And one of the things that we've picked up in the last, I guess, maybe 2-3 weeks, the senators, representatives are having the hearings in Austin about different things, charter, ASETOR, funds, and so forth. In all the meetings, there's been one representative asked one of the presenters about loss of values, mineral values. So I think we've generated, at least made them aware that it's there. And I think the whole idea here is to try to get more districts involved, to try to get their representatives and senators involved. So hopefully maybe as they come in January, we might be able to get some funds.
Return back to the 35.
Absolutely. We lost 13%. For us, it was 30 million. We've had other districts that they lost 15%. It might not be 30 million because they're small districts, but I mean, when you look at 15% for them, 600, 700, 800,000 or $1 million is something equivalent to our 30 million.
Mr. Santos, to this meeting that you all, or to the emails that you all respond, or that you all got respond on, did any district lose employees or have to cut employees?
All districts there had to make some adjustments,
Besides
some reductions
their funds of pay?
on services for students. I mean, some had to RIF, some obviously had to, just like us, our class sizes are larger. Weren't able to give our employees a pay raise. We had to cut a lot of travel. So I think they're in the same situation, and I think generating this resolution, I think it allows them to be able to start getting the board members involved, getting their parents involved, the community involved. We visit Laredo Times, and we're going to do a story with them. I think once we need to pass this resolution, and then start, really hokey is make people aware that there is a law, there's no provision. Maybe they're going to be able to try to find some funds to fund not only us, but a lot of districts in the state of Texas. And this is and Lila and her staff, and Suniga and his staff, Mike Garza, everybody has worked together to be able to generate those. It's over 200 email district superintendents that we send the stuff out. And there we send all the letters, the letter of the commissioner, his response, letter from Senator Hinojosa his respond. Meetings that we've had with people, and we also got the minutes of the meeting that we had there in Houston. It was interesting because the majority really didn't know that the law existed. I think making them aware, could help all of us.
Do we have a large school district, or they're all small?
No, most of them are small. The only large school district, I think it's Midland, which is a nice sized district, but when you look at where these people are from, a lot of East Texas, oil,
Houston,
Midland,
or especially where you're
the
at.
state of Texas is, at this point in time, it's a Republican state. That's who manages and controls our funds at this point at the state level. So hopefully, be able to generate some interest there and get their representatives involved, and maybe something good will happen. We don't know.
That's the main source, oil and gas.
Oil and gas. So the whole idea is we just can't sit back and let this thing take its course. We need to go out there and try to find ways to hopefully get some money for our district and other districts in the same situation we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take it as an individual item next week. I'll forward to it.
Item number 4, approval of additional appraisers for 2016-2017 school year.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, Mr. Santos, ladies and gentlemen. We come before you with this recommended action item to add 2 additional appraisers that are noted here for you from the instructional department. They'll help us whenever there is a need to help out at campus administrators with the appraisal of all educators at all our campuses. The new evaluation system called TTES, or the Texas Teacher Evaluation Support System, is one that we're working to fully implement, and of course that is a mandate by law. And of course, all our appraisers at the administrators at the at all our campuses are fully certified to conduct any appraisal that they have to conduct. And of course, all staff at the most staff at the curriculum and instruction department are certified to assist whenever such a request is received.
Thank you. Number 5, approval to guarantee maximum price for GMP proposal for Alexander High School additions of new fine arts building, the new architectural science building, and various science improvements, phase 1 of the bond project.
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, Mr. Santos, members of the audience. We bring for your consideration tonight this item, which is one of the largest bond projects that we have under the 2013 bond program. What we bring in to you is a guaranteed maximum price proposal for the additions at Alexandria High School. These additions consist basically of 2 main new facilities that will be built within the campus, the Fine Arts Building and the Agricultural Science Building, as well as other various site improvements. The amount of the guaranteed maximum price is $6,816,852, and this includes a contingency allowance of $270,000. There is also allowances for equipment, for technology, as well as audiovisual. So this guarantee proposal is for the first phase of the project. If I may just go back a little bit and explain on the additions that we had under the bond program. It included basically to upgrade all our facilities for the fine arts curriculum, as well as career technology to the agricultural science program. That is the first phase that we have under this project. The second phase would be in the future. It would be a separate proposal. This first guarantee proposal that we're bringing is only the first phase, the 2 new buildings and everything that goes with it. In the future, probably within the next year, we're going to bring a second phase, which is actually renovating and remodeling the current existing fine art band hall and facilities adjacent to it, to convert it into what the curriculum instruction department has really had the programs focus more on the engineering, science, the STEM careers, as well as a theater arts classroom. But that will be in the future. Right now, we're bringing to you tonight is the first phase, which is these 2 new buildings and site improvements. These allowances that are included within the project have been reviewed by the administration, as well as the cost that is being proposed is within the RS Means Cost Index. actually 13% below what is the standard costs are for this area. So we feel very good about the proposal being submitted by Lion Decker. It's a very good cost for this type of buildings. Now, it will be a one-year project to complete this by probably next December. What I wanted to, at this time, if you would allow us to make a brief presentation, Mr. Randy Hollis, the lead architect, is here from Munoz Architects. We did present this item last week on Thursday to our Bond Oversight Citizens Committee. They overwhelmingly approved it unanimously. They felt very good about, they were extremely happy and pleased with the master plan that we're going to be sharing with you. One of the comments they made is like they really commend the Board of Trustees and the administration. We're having this vision for Alexandria High School to provide the proper facilities, not only what is needed now, but for the future, utilizing the land that the Board of Trustees approved, the purchase of additional land. It was very difficult in the beginning to provide all these facilities within 45 acres, very constrained space, and it's very crowded. But that was the way it was planned on the 2013 bond program because we didn't have the additional acres. Now that we were able to acquire this land and took advantage of that great opportunity, that allowed us to step back and look at the entire campus, develop a master plan, design these buildings in a much better spacious manner. So that's what Mr. Hollis will be presenting. And then we'll open up for any questions. Randy?
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, Mr. Santos. Pleased to be here today. I'm going to give you a short tour of the exciting journey we've had really over the past 2 years to develop these state-of-the-art, frankly, state-of-the-art facilities for the district. So when we started at the time of the bond, as you can see, the sites were envisioned for the additions were fairly close to the existing school because there wasn't a lot of room on the site with all the playing fields and other needs that were present. And here you can see the original program from the bond, pretty extensive look at upgrading the school in its entirety. And again, you can see the sites that were originally envisioned at that time, including work on the parking lots. As we got into the process, we developed some preliminary plans based on the original program. And as you can see here, these are an example of a really extensive process that we had under Mr. Von Hill, meeting with the design committees comprised of curriculum instruction. We had Principal Sandoval there. We had technology present. We had departmental instructors, really a full gamut. There were citizens involved in some of the committees. And as you can see, we started early on this, and it's been a pretty interesting and exciting journey. So as developed, there was an initial scope of work, and what evolved out of this is that now the district saw that it was prudent to add the property now to the site, and that opened up all sorts of opportunities for how we looked at the property. But we also, at that point, had to step back and say, how do you master plan for all of this site? And how is it going to be in the future to enable the facilities to work the best for the students? And so we developed a short-term master plan. This is going to be in 2 stages. The first is focusing on developing infrastructure for the new buildings and facilities, which are here, and here Fine Arts, and then our agriculture science building. And to do that, we looked at development of course, improvements of parking lots, a new driveway, give better access to the new property. We relocated, or process of now relocating the softball field from its location. That will enable us to, in the district, to clear up a lot of the drainage problems that are current on the site that are affecting the neighborhoods around it. And so we had that opportunity with the new property. And then, long-term, where do you end up? So all the athletic fields now are zoned on this side of the property with a new access. It's going to really allow these to engage, allow parents to easily come and attend games and the community to use the fields. They won't be stuck in the back of the lot essentially anymore. The new street will then connect with the driveway system down to Mayella, and all of that will enhance how the property is used. Its students and parents circulate and at all times that the facilities are in use. Now we have room for expansion on the site. We've dealt with the drainage issues with a new system that runs through, new fields, and of course the new facilities. And this is where the phase 2 will be, right here in the middle. This is the old band complex in the middle of the school that we're now building out here. So the phasing plan was developed in detail, and this is to get the infrastructure built. And as you can see, phase 1, redo the parking lots and the new softball fields. Phase 2, which has been done, redo the actually a new drainage system as part of the parking lots, and then underway is the new driveway for a new facility that will be built here under the phase 1 project, which is here. In the course of all of that, 2 years of meetings and design, things changed. We got some very great requests from the departmental folks that we were visiting with. Also from the school, codes changed, and also we looked at enhancing the facility with input from curriculum, and the program developed, as Mr. Rangel said. So we added practice rooms. We have brought in what we need to in terms of technology for, again, to make these state-of-the-art facilities with audio sound systems. A new thing for the district is we're bringing all of the systems work, like the technology work, underneath the construction manager, so that is now in our construction budget, and you'll have a single point of responsibility. Code has changed, so now we have enhanced life safety in terms of voice evacuation and requirements for fire sprinkling, which is required for this fine arts building. We've enlarged the canopies for the building, so there's now more shaded outdoor areas, especially for the ag students, which is real beneficial, better ventilation. We're using xeriscaping around the buildings to save water. We've widened sidewalks to the marching pad from the fine arts. They now have a secure place to put this trailer storage behind a fence where it'll be safe and secure. And we had some soils. We have an enhanced foundation system to deal with pretty questionable soils in some places out on that side. This is a look at the project for the fine arts. And you can see pretty much the configuration that we have there. You have the main entry. This is a connection over to the school. You walk, and then there's a canopy, takes you into the main corridor, which is fronted by the practice rooms. You have the major band hall space right here. You have a second band hall and an orchestra choir space here, and all the storage that you need to make all of that happen, which is in detail on this plan. For the agriculture science building, we now have a fully developed shop space for wood and metalworking with a agriculture classroom and dressing rooms here for the students as they can change out and change into clothes that they would use in the shop space here. And again, with storage and flow-through ventilation and wrap-around canopy space for shaded and project development outside. This is a look at the buildings, high ceilings in both situations as required for those spaces. And we thought we'd put some interesting detailing on the front of the fine arts with the musical staff, just done in the brick simply. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 that's coming up is going to be 2 science classrooms, the prep rooms, engineering labs, including a CAD lab, the robotics lab like is at United High School, which is a pretty cool thing to have, I think. A fully developed theater arts classroom. It'll have a prep makeup dressing room associated with that, and then also shop space, so they can make props and things right there in the place where the classroom is. And this is a look at that future development, which will be part of the phase 2. You can see this is theater arts. You have the robotics lab and engineering, and then the 2 science labs here. And so Phase 1 construction, when approved, will start December and run for a year to December 2017. And Phase 2 construction, of course, will then follow on. We have to get the fine arts building built and ready to occupy so we can move the students out of the existing school. And then when that happens, the construction can start on the Phase 2 within the existing school. And right now, the budgeting is, as you see there, 1.9 million.
That's for
That's
phase 2, right?
That's Phase 2, that's correct.
And again, as a reminder, we did present it to the Bond Oversight Committee last week, and they voted it, they approved it 5-0, so they like the plan.
Thank you, sir. Number 6, approval of awarding bids, proposals, and qualifications.
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, and Mr. Santos and staff. We bring before you the following recommendations. RFQ 2016-035, Geotechnical Engineering Services for district-wide construction and general maintenance projects. Most qualified company, Terracon Consulting, and the second consultants, and the second most qualified, Rabba Kishner with Howland Engineering. RFP 2016-038, antivirus software. The recommended vendor is Solid Order. The 3-year cost on this is $154,230.75 with professional development one-time cost of $1,997. And RFP 2016-039, irrigation parts and supplies to Clark Hardware and Site One Landscaping Company. Questions? Thank you.
7, approval of sale of salvage equipment.
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, Mr. Santos, members of the audience. At this point, we bring before you the recommendation for the approval of the sale of the district's salvage equipment, which is located in our warehouse at 802 Gap. So with your approval, we plan to hold hopefully live auction tentatively, again, with your approval, scheduled for November the 5th, the 5th, November 5th, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 8, approval and request from board members, use discretionary funds for various projects and campuses.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, besides the requests that were included in your packet for this meeting, there's 2 additional requests that came in. One's for the STEP Academy, Principal Gerardo Rodriguez, sponsored by Mr. Molina, Ricardo Molina, for a metal detector to continue to ensure the safety of students, teachers, staff, and parents at STEP Academy, total amount of $3,700. And a request from Troutman Elementary School, Ms. Zaya Gonzalez, Principal, sponsored by Mr. Javier Montemayor, for blue ribbon T-shirts for students and staff, a total amount of $4,386.28.
Number 9, number 10 were presented to the Instructional Committee.
Item B, number 1, Finance Division monthly financial report.
Good evening again. We're bringing to you our monthly financial report. As of September 30th, we had a cash and investment balance of $199,856,096. General fund had $103,330,000. Debt service $6.1 million. And the issue that we did in 2014, we had $25.3 million. And the issue we did in 2015, we have a little less than $65 million. Our 5% of our portfolio is in demand accounts, and our yield is less than 1%. It's 0.71%. And most of our funds are in the pool, and it's at 0.60%. The budget that we adopted has us with an administrative cost ratio of 8.17%. For the month of September, we're at 8.2%. Our unaudited statements, 1 month of operation, because September is our first month. Year-to-date revenues, we're at 34.1% or 11% of our budget. Last year, we were at 11.5%. Year-to-date expenditures, $37.8 million, 11.5%. Last year at this time, we're at 9.95%. Tax office report, we just sent our tax statements out at the end of September 30th. So pretty much, this current collection rate has to do with last year's levy, not the one that we just started sending the tax statements. So our current collection rate was 99.13% and delinquent collection rate was 28.72%. Next month, we'll bring you what our new levy is looking like. All the bids and proposals awarded through September 2016 are included in this report. And year-to-date grants awarded to United ISD for this year is $24,908,505. And the department also has included what she's worked on, what she's reviewed, what's been negotiated, and what's been amended as well. So I don't know if anybody has any specific questions. Thank you.
Public comments?
No public comments. Just to remind the board and the audience that tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it's the groundbreaking for San Isidro Elementary. Obviously, the board members are welcome and the audience is also welcome. The groundbreaking at San Isidro at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Motion to adjourn.